Have you ever wondered why some people completely transform their lives while others stay exactly where they started? It's not because they're luckier. It's not because they were born stronger. It's not because life was easier for them. It's because they made one decision that most people never make. They walked straight toward the thing that terrified them the most. Think about that for a moment. Every dream you've ever had is standing on the other side of something you don't want to do. That difficult conversation, that business you've been afraid to start, that opportunity you've been too scared to take, that version of yourself you've been delaying because you're waiting to feel ready. But here's the truth that nobody likes to hear. You are never going to feel ready. If confidence came first, everyone would be successful. If motivation came first, everyone would achieve their goals. If courage came first, nobody would stay stuck. But that's not how life works. Confidence is earned after you take the risk. Motivation grows after you begin. Courage appears only when fear is already standing in front of you. Fear is not your enemy. Running from it is. Every single day you avoid what scares you, you're teaching your mind one dangerous lesson. You're telling yourself that fear is stronger than you. And after enough repetitions, your mind begins to believe it. That's why your comfort zone slowly becomes your prison. At first it feels safe, then it feels normal. Eventually it becomes impossible to leave. People spend years living lives they don't even enjoy simply because fear convinced them that staying the same was safer than changing. But safe doesn't mean fulfilling. Safe doesn't build dreams. Safe doesn't create success. Safe doesn't change your family's future. Safe doesn't make you proud when you look in the mirror. Safe only guarantees that tomorrow will look exactly like today. Ask yourself one honest question. If nothing changes over the next 5 years, will you be proud of the life you're living? Or will you regret every excuse you made today? Because regret is heavier than fear. Fear lasts for a moment. Regret can stay with you for a lifetime. You keep telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes another year. Then one day you wake up wondering where all the time went. Time didn't disappear. You gave it away to hesitation. Understand this. Your biggest opportunity is not hiding from you. It's hiding behind the fear you've been avoiding. The moment you stop running is the moment your life begins to change. Your greatest breakthrough doesn't begin when life gets easier. It begins the second you decide that your excuses no longer deserve control over your future. So the question isn't whether you're afraid. Everyone is. The real question is this: how much longer are you willing to let fear make decisions for your life? If the answer is not one more day, then this video might become the turning point you've been waiting for. Let me tell you something that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid hearing. Nobody is coming to save you. Not the perfect opportunity, not the perfect mentor, not the perfect moment, not the perfect amount of money, not the perfect amount of confidence. You have been waiting for conditions that will never exist. Life does not reward people who wait. It rewards people who move. Look at every successful person you've ever admired. From the outside, it looks like they had everything figured out. But behind every success story was someone who doubted themselves, someone who failed, someone who felt terrified, someone who questioned whether they were good enough. The difference wasn't that they had no fear. The difference was that they refused to let fear become their leader. Understand something. Fear has one job. Its job is to convince you that staying where you are is safer than becoming who you're capable of being. And every time you listen to it, your future becomes smaller. Your dreams become quieter. Your confidence becomes weaker. Until one day you forget what you were even capable of. Don't let that happen to you. You were not born to spend your life watching other people live the life you wanted. You were not created to scroll through success while making excuses for why it can't be yours. You were not meant to collect dreams. You were meant to chase them. Yes, it's going to be difficult. You're going to fail. People are going to laugh. Some people will doubt you. Others will leave when they realize you're changing. You'll make mistakes that embarrass you. You'll have days when quitting feels easier than continuing. But let me ask you this. Would you rather suffer the temporary pain of growth or the permanent pain of wondering what could have been? Because one kind of pain builds your future. The other destroys it. There is no easy path to a meaningful life. The strongest people are not the ones who had an easy journey. They're the ones who kept moving when every reason to stop was standing right in front of them. When life knocked them down, they got back up, not because they enjoyed the struggle, but because they understood that every setback was preparing them for a bigger comeback. Your greatest breakthrough is not waiting on the day you stop feeling afraid. It's waiting on the day you stop obeying your fear. Read that again in your mind. Fear is a feeling. Obedience is a choice. You don't control every feeling that enters your mind, but you always control which feeling you follow. Every morning you wake up with a decision. Will today be another day controlled by comfort? Or another day that moves you one step closer to the life you dream about? No one else can answer that question for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your circumstances. Only you, because at the end of your life, you won't be judged by the dreams you imagined. You'll be remembered by the actions you took. Years from now, your future self is going to look back at this version of you. Make sure they don't have to ask one painful question. Why didn't you even try? So stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. Stand up, take the first step, then take another, because every great journey begins with one decision. The decision to move despite the fear. There is something you need to understand before you leave this video. Your fear is lying to you. Every single time it whispers that you're not good enough, it's lying. Every time it tells you that you're too late, it's lying. Every time it convinces you that someone else is more talented than you, it's lying again. Fear survives by making you believe that your limits are real. But most of the limits in your life were never built by reality. They were built by repetition. You told yourself the same story so many times that it became your identity. You said you're not confident, so you stopped speaking up. You said you're not disciplined, so you stopped trying. You said you're unlucky, so you stopped looking for opportunities. Do you see what's happening? Your life follows a story you keep repeating in your mind. Change the story, and eventually you'll change the outcome. But don't misunderstand me. Changing your mindset doesn't mean sitting in your room repeating positive words all day. Real confidence is built through action, not imagination. You don't become brave by thinking about bravery. You become brave by doing the thing that scares you over and over again until your mind realizes that fear no longer controls you. That's how warriors are made. Not in comfort, not in convenience, but in struggle. Every difficult morning, you choose discipline over excuses. You're becoming stronger. Every workout you finish when your body wants to quit, you're becoming stronger. Every hour you spend learning while others waste time, you're becoming stronger. Every rejection you survive without giving up, you're becoming stronger. Strength is earned, never given. The world celebrates victories, but victories are created in moments nobody sees. The alarm that rings before sunrise, the late nights when nobody is cheering for you, the sacrifices that nobody applauds, the lonely hours spent improving yourself while everyone else chooses entertainment. That's where greatness is born. People only see the result. They don't see the thousands of invisible decisions that created it. You have to fall in love with those invisible moments because they are shaping the person you're becoming. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You cannot build an extraordinary life with ordinary habits. If you want uncommon success, you must be willing to live in an uncommon way. While others are making excuses, you're working. While others are complaining, you're improving. While others are waiting, you're moving. That is the difference. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing. Consistency. The person who keeps showing up will almost always defeat the person who keeps waiting for motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline stays. Motivation disappears when life becomes difficult. Discipline keeps walking when everything hurts. That's why discipline will take you places that motivation never can. So stop asking yourself whether you feel like doing the work. Ask yourself whether your future deserves your best effort today. Because one decision made today can completely change where you'll be 1 year from now. Imagine waking up a year from today, healthier, stronger, more confident, financially growing, mentally tougher, closer to your dreams than you've ever been before. That future isn't impossible. It's expensive. The price is your comfort. The price is your excuses. The price is every habit that's keeping you average. The question is simple. Are you finally ready to pay it? Because your greatest breakthrough has been waiting for one thing. The moment you stop choosing comfort over your own potential. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone with less talent than you is winning. Not because they're smarter, not because they're stronger, but because they refuse to stop. Think about how many opportunities you've let slip away simply because you were afraid of failing. Now think about this. What if failure was never the thing holding you back? What if the real enemy was the fear of being seen trying? So many people aren't afraid of losing. They're afraid of looking foolish. They're afraid that people will laugh. They're afraid that someone will judge them. But let me tell you something that can change your life forever. The people laughing at your effort are usually the same people doing nothing with their own lives. Never let spectators decide the direction of your future. The opinions of people who never had the courage to chase their own dreams should never become the chains that hold yours back. You have one life. One. Don't waste it trying to impress people who won't remember your name in a few years. Live in a way that makes your future self respect you. Every time you choose comfort instead of growth, you're making a trade. You're trading tomorrow's success for today's convenience. And convenience has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. Success asks for sacrifice. It asks for discipline when nobody is watching. It asks for patience when results are invisible. It asks for courage when fear is screaming in your ear. Most people hear that price and walk away. That's why most people stay average. Average is crowded because it's comfortable. Greatness is room because very few people are willing to earn it. Don't tell yourself you're different. Prove it. Your actions speak louder than every promise you've ever made to yourself. It doesn't matter how many motivational videos you've watched. It doesn't matter how many books you've bought. It doesn't matter how many plans you've written. None of it matters if you refuse to act. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Dreams without effort remain dreams. Potential without discipline is wasted. You don't need another excuse. You need another rep, another hour, another attempt, another lesson, another day of refusing to quit. Because that's how breakthroughs happen. Not in one giant moment, but through hundreds of small decisions that most people are too impatient to make. Every early morning, every difficult choice, every setback you refuse to surrender to, every step you take while fear is still walking beside you. Those moments are building a version of you that your current self can't even imagine. One day, people will call you lucky. They'll never see the mornings you wanted to stay in bed. They'll never see the nights you kept working while everyone else slept. They'll never see the failures that taught you what success never could. They'll only see the result. And that's fine, because you won't need their approval. You'll have something far more valuable. You'll have proof that you became the person you once believed was impossible to become. That is what happens when you stop asking fear for permission to live your life. That is where your greatest breakthrough truly begins. Let this sink in. One decision can divide your entire life into two chapters. The chapter where you kept making excuses, and the chapter where you finally became unstoppable. That decision doesn't happen next year. It doesn't happen next month. It happens today. The hardest part of success isn't the work. It's making the choice to begin before you feel ready. Your mind will always try to negotiate with discomfort. It will tell you to start tomorrow, to rest one more day, to wait until you have more confidence, to wait until life becomes easier. But if you listen carefully, you'll realize something. Tomorrow has been lying to you for years. Tomorrow has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Every time you postpone your goals, you're giving away a piece of the future you could have built. Stop giving your future away. You keep saying you want a different life. Then live differently. You cannot repeat the same habits and expect a different ending. Life doesn't reward wishes. It rewards actions. Every champion understands this. Every successful entrepreneur understands this. Every person who transformed their life understands this. The work comes first. The reward comes later. That's the deal. If you're not willing to pay the price, don't expect a prize. That may sound harsh, but life doesn't change because someone feels sorry for you. Life changes when you become stronger than your excuses. There will be mornings when your body is tired. Work anyway. There will be days when your motivation disappears. Move anyway. There will be moments when nobody believes in you. Believe in yourself anyway. There will be setbacks that make you question everything. Stand back up anyway. Because every time you refuse to quit, you're sending a message to yourself. You are becoming someone who cannot be broken. That kind of mindset is priceless. Money can be lost. Opportunities can disappear. People can walk away. But a disciplined mind will always find another path. A strong character will always rebuild. A determined heart will always rise again. That is why your greatest investment is not your bank account. It is your ability to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. Train your mind to embrace discomfort. Run toward the challenge instead of away from it. Welcome the difficult conversations. Welcome the hard work. Welcome the failures that teach you. Because every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback carries wisdom. Every obstacle carries strength. The person you dream of becoming is hidden inside the struggles you're trying to avoid. Stop avoiding them. Walk into them. Grow through them. One day you'll look back and realize that the moments you feared the most became the moments that built you the most. You'll realize that your greatest breakthrough didn't arrive because fear disappeared. It arrived because you finally decided that your dreams were more important than your fear. And when that happens, there is no limit to what you can become. If you've made it this far, I want you to hear these final words with complete honesty. Your future is not waiting for you. It's being built by what you choose to do after this video ends. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when life becomes easier after this video. Because inspiration without action is nothing more than entertainment. Don't let this become another video that made you feel motivated for a few minutes before you went back to the same habits. Be different. The world doesn't need another person who talks about big dreams. It needs someone who's willing to work for them. Let that someone be you. There will be days when you feel exhausted. Days when you question your progress. Days when it seems like nothing is changing. Keep going. The tree doesn't stop growing just because you can't see the roots getting deeper. Your effort is shaping a future that today's eyes cannot yet see. Trust the process, but earn the result. Remember this. Your breakthrough is not a destination. It's a decision you make every single day. The decision to wake up instead of giving up. The decision to work instead of complain. The decision to stay disciplined instead of distracted. The decision to keep moving instead of making excuses. Every one of those decisions is a vote for the person you're becoming. So ask yourself one final question. When your story is over, what will people say about you? Will they say you had potential? Or will they say you had courage? Potential impresses people. Courage changes lives. Don't spend your life protecting your comfort. Spend it building your character. Don't chase easy. Chase meaningful. Don't wish for fewer obstacles. Become stronger than every obstacle that stands in your way. The moment you stop asking life to become easier and start demanding more from yourself, everything begins to change. 1 year from now, you could still be making excuses, or you could be living a life that the current version of you can barely imagine. The choice has always been yours. Your greatest breakthrough begins where your greatest fear ends. So when this video finishes, don't close it and go back to the life you've been trying to escape. Stand up, take the first step, then take another, and keep moving until the life you once dreamed about becomes the life you actually live. If this message spoke to you, and if it reminded you of the strength that's already inside you, consider subscribing so we can keep growing together with videos that challenge you to become stronger every single day. If you found even one sentence that changed the way you think, leave a like. It's a simple way to let me know these messages are making a difference. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me the biggest fear you're choosing to overcome, or the goal you're finally ready to chase. Your story might be the reason someone else decides not to quit today. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay relentless, and remember this: your future is earned. Now go earn it.